y'all do is walk down it.
The 2023 NFL schedule is out, and it's time to mark your calendars. From primetime showdowns to exciting matchups against division rivals, the Saints are ready to make some noise this season. With quarterback Derek Carr at the helm, plenty of offensive firepower, and the Saints' signature defense, there's a lot to look forward to from the black and gold. So get ready, Saints fans. The dates have been set, and the 2023 season is underway. Welcome to the Saints 2023 schedule release breakdown show alongside lead writer reporter for Saints News on SI.com, John Hendrix. I'm Erin Summers. We had the opponents and now we know the dates with the schedule coming out Thursday night from the NFL. We are starting things off right here in New Orleans against the Tennessee Titans. It's the first time that the Saints have been home at the Caesars Superdome since 2020, so we're really excited about that. It's going to be great, and they've won the last 4 home openers that they had here in New Orleans, so hopefully that luck continues. It's going to be a lot of fun games coming up, and it starts early against the Carolina Panthers. We get into our first primetime games. We have 3 this season. It'll be a Monday night game, week 2 at Carolina, and there are a lot of unknowns for this Carolina Panthers team. As for the rest of the NFC South, what are you looking at with that game, that opponent, early on in the season?
I really like the fact that it is a Monday night football game. It's going to be part of a doubleheaders and such, so it's obviously, going to be having a lot of more intrigue to it. And I think it's going to be one of the underrated matchups. Just being able to see Bryce Young gets a chance for the Saints to really prove themselves and prove their mettle. And then they got to go against the Packers on the road the week right after.
You mentioned Bryce Young, the #1 overall pick, but Andy Dalton right now they've said is going to be the starter for the Panthers to start things off. So we could see him. It would be just week 2. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on as well. With the Carolina Panthers being that game in week 2, that starts off our division opponents. And then we'll see the next one, week 4. It'll be Tampa Bay here. Then it's going to be late in the season until we see some of the NFC South again. It'll be week 12 against a team in Georgia. Week 14 against the Carolina Panthers. Week 17 will be Tampa, and then we'll end the season against Atlanta. And with so many uncertainties with teams, so many changes, it's going to be nice to get a good idea of what those teams are going to be looking at in a very important part of the year after the bye. The Saints' bye week is week 11, so we will see 4 of those NFC South teams in the last 7 games of the season. I think that the bye week fell at a good point this year.
Look, week 11, it's a chance for, you're going to have injuries. They're just part of the game, right? And so that's just going to be a spot where week 12, when you make that return against the Falcons, then, you have a chance to get some key players back if that's the case. And look, anytime that you're able to get a bye that's not early in the season, I'm not a fan of those. The Saints have had those in the past, but chance to get healthy for some of these guys that have this early injury stuff in training camp, preseason, fingers crossed nothing happens, but any of those that do come up, it's a huge chance to be able to take some rest and really focus on that back half of the schedule where you're really going to be playing a lot of your most meaningful games. I always remember the season starts after Thanksgiving, right? And so for the Saints, they'll be ready, being at home, and be able to be healthy.
I think October 29th, that's week 8, it's going to be a Super Bowl rematch. I know it's been a little while, but you are going to be seeing the Colts, so that could be fun too. Just add a little nostalgia to that because we obviously won that one over them. Looking at the season completely, how many wins we got?
Well, I'd say for me right now, the ceiling is 12-5. And look, I'd love to say 17-0, right? But I think realistically, the floor would be 10-7. I think there's going to be marked improvement. I think there's a lot of exciting additions that have come to this team. So look, I feel like I would take 13-4. I think 12-5 is probably about where I would put their ceiling, but I'm a little bit more optimistic there. So I'll say 13-4.
For the last 19 of 20 seasons, 2 teams have won their division after not making the playoffs. So there's a chance. And I think that the Saints have a very, very good one to take the NFC South this year. That is the goal to start, and then further on, that would be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me, John, on this schedule breakdown show. If you want tickets, you now know the dates. You can go to NewOrleansSaints.com and grab them there. For John Hendrix, I'm Erin Summers. Let's go Saints.